Do you have any examples of clients that have run these tests that have made very bold changes as a result of what they saw?
Yeah, I can go into that a little bit. So, for example, a client that we mentioned, the big streaming service, Viaplay, were quite, we helped them with both MMM and with Geo-Lifts. They were quite early into looking into, is TikTok really incremental? Is that a channel that we should bet more on? And I think we started off small, but in a big country in Europe called Poland, next to Germany, where we did this Geo-Lift test, we actually saw like, wow, TikTok is a really good channel for us. And they became like our biggest spender on TikTok after that, because they saw the power of the channel. If you compared like what they saw in the TikTok ads platform compared to what they saw with our Geo-Lifts, it was like night and day. So I think we seen that. Now we also had another client can share, I don't know what they're going to do with this, but where we actually saw that like did a comparison Geo-Lift. So like they compared Google, like non-brand search with Meta, and where we figured out like that Google, like it's not ROI positive. So it's kind of like of course, like this is a big hefty budget that they will need to switch somewhere else. And as you know, like how will they be able to switch it and still scale it? Where could it put it instead? But if they're not getting, like as you said, like with your new method, there's like it's no use continuing on. So it will be super interesting to see where will they place their budgets instead, because I find it hard for them to continue on down this road.
Sure. It's funny. I can come up with hypotheses for why both of those results occurred. On the TikTok side, I'm assuming it's going to be an app client. They were running app install campaigns, and then they're seeing poor results in scan, crazy CPAs, and then they run an incrementality test, and they're like, oh, okay. Wow, scan's measurement methodology is very limiting. I think that's something you hear about a lot, and been a struggle for some of the spend that I've managed, where the results on iOS look poor, after iOS 14.5, but you have a conviction that they are driving things, and Geo-Lift validates that. On the paid search side, non-brand paid search is kind of historically seen as like very incremental, high intent. People are searching for the thing. But depending on the size of the brand, I think that my feeling would be the larger a brand, the less incremental non-brand paid search is, because folks already know about you. So if you are the biggest credit card in the world and someone's searching for credit cards and they click on your ad, they probably already know about you. But yeah, it's funny. Like there's these kind of like common sense things that these tests can uncover, and then it's like the oh shit moment of, oh, okay, yeah, right, that makes sense. But there is like a belief system too, right? Like just because the performance marketer might believe that, like there needs to be belief in the CMO or whoever's making those like large budget decisions. Because what do you do when you run an incrementality test? You see your non-brand paid search is incremental. That's 30% of your budget. Now you have a forecast for the next year that was assuming you were to get X amount of conversions for that spend. Like, how do you kind of act on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a few examples where some of our clients, like we run one test and this can't be true. They run another one and realize, okay, shit, we need to believe this now because all the evidence is pointing in that direction.
Isn't that a thing as well, like with the tests also, that you kind of figure out and you can unite on what the actual truth also is? Because I think like when you look at the data and you look at, some person might look into like Meta's ad platforms, Google Analytics, it might be Shopify and so on. And I think that's a problem in general, that not everybody is aligned. And finally, maybe after, as Eric said, like after 2 tests, you find like, okay, this is probably the truth. We should probably believe in this. So I think it also needs to be alignment in the team with what do we consider to be the truth.